The other thing I want to ask you about both of you is on Wednesday, I'm hoping to connect with Stuart of Spain Speaks. Hola, ¿qué tal, amigos? Stuart of Spain Speaks in Spain, funnily enough. And we want to do a little get together on Wednesday. What's going on in Spain and Portugal at the moment? It seems there are a lot of people on the streets of Spain protesting. I'm not sure what I'm reading on Twitter is correct. I want to ask him as somebody who lives there. And of course, since we all last were on the screen together, our Prime Minister has resigned, and there are going to be elections in March of next year. The NHR is on its way. The golden visa has already been slaughtered or changed beyond recognition, and there's a 10% tax on booze. A lot's going on. What's your sense of that, Anna? I mean, to me, life goes on. That's the great news I'm sending to people.
Yeah.
It seems quite controversial from afar, doesn't it? But life goes on here in Portugal.
Of course it does. I don't think people are really, well, they talk about it, but it's not part of everyday life in Portugal.
So is it, surprisingly?
No, it isn't. I think that's typical. I think I'm not surprised. I don't think that the Portuguese are very much connected with all that's happening in Lisboa, for that matter.
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't think so, and I think it's typical also, well, unfortunately, for people who are struggling. Like they have their own battles to fight every day. And I think like elections and everything it's a kind of a detachment, which is not a good sign. But I don't think they feel like that their voting changes anything.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
I definitely get a sense of resignation. There's an awareness, like, oh, I know what's going on, and then there's a shrug, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
I can't change it, so
Yeah.
carry on.
I think the old, but we'd have to ask Portuguese people because I don't feel comfortable speaking for them.
Well, this is coming from living with a Portuguese family and observing and talking with them about these things.
But I have the feeling that it's still very much ingrained in people's minds. Like we've had much worse, 60 years ago. But I think it's something that I know people, like shrugging, like, oh yeah, what's happening, okay, but nothing more. There's no real indignation or like there is not, they don't have the
I think
sense
it's
of,
fascinating. And I certainly wouldn't want you to speak on behalf of other people. I'm very interested in your view as somebody who lives here. And part of my motivation for asking is, let's say, and I'm in touch with people in the United States who want to move to Portugal. They hear that the Prime Minister has, if you just hear these key nuggets of information, and not through their own news media, through the grapevine on social media, the Prime Minister's resigned in alleged corruption scandal. We've had the NHR is definitely going now. The golden visa went before. It's all to do with the social housing problem. Foreigners might be getting the blame for that. Road taxes going up. And those are not comfortable dots to join up if that's the only information you're getting.
True.
Yeah. I was riveted to what was going on last week, hoping for this sense of excitement within the political world. And I noticed I was more excited about it than a lot of Portuguese people I know. And I was, people would say to me, oh, no, I haven't even looked. It's like, and it's exactly what you're saying, from your point of view and from my point of view. That is what we're seeing, isn't it? It's like people are not necessarily or let me put it this way, they're not as bothered as we think we should be or think they might be.
Yeah.
They have, there is that sense of
feel like this is part of their reality.
And I get a very strong sense of the Portuguese culture as being very pragmatic. It's very like what's happening now and what needs to be taken care of. What can I do anything about? And everything else is just noise for the most part. They may not like it. I've heard complaints. I don't like it. But again, what are you going to do? I have a life I have to live, and that's what's important. So I'll do that.
Well, and who can blame?
That's why we love them. I mean,
absolutely.
That's why we love them, because they live in the here and the now.
I apologize. I apologize for being part of that noise that you speak of, James, because I know I have been. All right, I'm going to treat you to some dad jokes, Mrs. M breathing down my neck, as a nice way to go into the week here. This is not related to Mrs. M. My wife left me because I'm insecure. No, wait, she's back. She just went to get coffee. He says these aren't really dad jokes. I think they're brilliant this morning. When I'm loud, people tell me to be quiet. But when I'm quiet, people ask me what's wrong. James, you've probably had that from time to time, haven't you? Mm-hmm. Look at this. Advice for a Monday morning. Keep the dream alive, everybody. Hit the snooze button if you're still under your duvet or if you're watching this later, and that's exactly what you did. Anna, thank you so much. James, thank you very much. Looking forward to us being on the screen together again soon. And join us for the rest of this week. We'll be talking to Mama Bear tomorrow. And I think we'll have some live hand pan music tomorrow as well. So a little treat for you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, James. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this morning. Take care and bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bom dia, Portugal. In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.